Today I back my little olive that I started from an air layer off one of my other small olives. It had a pretty long branch and I just decided to air layer it off for fun. And now we have this tiny tree, and I like it. I've mostly been letting it grow out and then pruning it back every now and again. It has had a lot of growth down near the base, which has helped give it some good thickness, but really it's never going to get too big as it's in this tiny pot. But it's still good to let it grow out and get healthy and strong. Here in July it's looking good. You can see a few shoots are starting to take off. So I'll prune most of them back. You'll see I pretty much leave the lower ones alone again. I can't remember exactly why, but I guess I was happy with the lower branch to go wild and help give that base a little thickness. When I repot it later on, you'll see there's some good trunk flare, but annoyingly it's only really in one plane, rather than the whole way around. But it's not the end of the world, it still looks cool. It's looking great in August, nice and healthy, and really for the rest of the year it's just left alone to put on some growth. I don't think the lower branch gets crazy like it has done in the past, but also seems like there's some growth from the top. The year before it pretty much 100% only grew on the lower branch, so it's good to see it's a bit more spread out and balanced. Even if it's not evenly distributed, it's still a lot better. I'm not sure if that lower branch will stay long term, we'll have to see. I might also spend this coming year kind of pruning everything evenly, rather than letting just that area grow out, but we'll see. By November it's pretty much going to have stopped growing now, so it did well this year. After I filmed this in December, I placed a tree outside in the shed and it actually fell down behind some stuff and I didn't see it, so it got left outside a bit longer than planned. I actually only noticed it was missing because I was going through my computer files and seen it, and then realised I hadn't seen it in person for a while. So this is right at the end of March here, but it'll be fine. It just means I had an extra bit of rest over winter, so hopefully it will go like crazy now this season. And obviously it needs pruned back here to get it ready for spring. I think my scissors were a bit blunt, as well as the fact I'm trying to do a arm's length. That's never ideal. But I got there in the end and now it's all ready to start growing. There's not much happening in April, probably because that was only a few days later, but it'll wake up soon, then I'll repot it. Which didn't take too long. Usually when I bring these trees back inside, the sudden increase in light and temperature makes them explode into life pretty quickly. I just started by getting rid of the moss. It actually had a really thick lush layer, although it is starting to touch the trunk, which is never ideal. So you'll see me brush that off like crazy in a second. It came out of the pot easily enough. It was pretty tight, but it's small, so it's pretty easy to pull it out. And you can see it's pretty much a full root ball. It's not the most full. It came apart nicely, but I wouldn't have had enough space in there to let it go for another year. You can see in a second there's like one big fat mega root on one side. Everything else was about the same thickness. So I've no idea what that one big root was about, although maybe it was the root that was feeding the lower branch, although it is on the opposite side of the tree, so I don't know how any of that works. So you can see here it's an okay root ball, but as talked about earlier, the main flare seems to just go from side to side rather than the whole way around, but I'm sure with time it will even out. I pretty much just shortened everything back, and then for the thick root I just took it back a bit harder. Hopefully where I cut it will subdivide and send out some smaller roots. So nothing too complicated, it's all straightforward stuff. And I just plant it back up in the same pot. I wasn't too happy about that. It's deep enough, but it's not really wide enough. There's no real room for it to grow outwards. But I don't have anything else suitable to use at this time, so let's have to go into this pot for now for another year. Then I'll need to find something better for next year, as really I can't stay in here much longer. But I'll be fine for now. It's just all for fun anyway. And here we are now, where it looks happy enough. So hopefully it does well this year. Thanks for watching. See you next time.